readers, many of them, if not all of them, want to and desire to develop a connection to the characters they read. And as writers, we like to write characters that we enjoy, so they do reflect what we like. And hi, my name is Catherine E.Y. Bell. I am a high fantasy author here, and one of the character types that I love to incorporate, and you will see pop up in a variety of different ways throughout my various book series, is the warrior style woman. But that is because I also challenge myself to be that kind of persona. I have just a little backstory. I used to be a very good competitive archer, and I won an axe throwing competition. I used to do stage fitness competitions, and I competed in mud runs for a while and earned awards that way. Like, I like to be physically fit. I like to be active. I do enjoy going to the gym. That's not necessarily normal for a lot of writers. I got it. And same thing with readers. I get that too. But that's one of the reasons why I'm drawn to that type of person. But not everybody is. And not everybody can identify or see themselves in that type of person. So one of the things that I challenged myself a number of years ago when I started to create my Viking Dark Fantasy series, The Guardian Speaker, I chose to write an MC, my main character, to be the opposite in many ways of what type of person that I enjoy reading. I chose to create Leaf. I'll give you a little example. There she is in the center. I chose to make Leaf extremely introverted. She is that homebody. She is comfortable at home. She's nervous around people and doesn't kind of get them, but there's reasons for that as well. And she is not the athletic type. She's a person that if books were around and readily available in her era and her type of world, she would be reading them all the time. Probably unfortunate for her, they really didn't exist and she did not have access to them. But that is the type of person she was at the beginning. But the fun thing for me was creating a character that initially was so different from me, allowed me to play around with a variety of different character growth options. And no, I did not necessarily train her up to be the most mighty warrior person in the world. That was never going to be her. But she does challenge herself to learn things, to improve throughout the 16 novellas. It is a longer, novella series, but she also was allowed to get a lot of growth in other ways, develop an emotional strength, develop a voice for herself, as she was able to stand up in situations that she would never have initially. So that was really neat to see her grow and change throughout the series to be a stronger character and person in her books than she was initially. And I did not need her to turn into, let's go back here, her sister, because I already had a warrior woman in there. Again, I love them. I'm going to stick them in there. It's the way it is. But choosing to approach this series where the main character was so different, one, I'm hoping that I'll have a character that speaks to a different group of readership than the one that always goes after that warrior type woman. But also it was a fun challenge and a fun experience and a fun journey to follow for Leaf, seeing her from the beginning and all the way at the very end of the series. So as readers and writers, there is some entertainment to read a variety of characters and try to see, yourself in different maybe facets or aspects in those characters. They don't always have to be the same, but it is one of those things that makes the world that much more real when you have a variety. And so if you're on the writing side of things, make sure you challenge yourself to write a whole bunch of characters that aren't necessarily what you identify with, because interestingly enough, there's probably someone else out there that will read that character and be like, that's me. I'm so glad that I'm represented in some way in this world. So throwing that out there, let me know your thoughts.